everyone. My name is Stephanie Markakis. Please don't try saying my last name. It's like really long and no one can ever say it properly, so it's okay. I own Fork and Spoon Business Consulting. I am a food safety advisor, a food safety instructor, and I'm a food industry business coach. I've been in the food industry for a really long time. I'm going to age myself 20 years, even though I don't look like I can be that old, but I am. So today we are going to talk to you, well, I'm going to talk to you about meal planning. I know it's really challenging nowadays with being on a budget and how to meal plan, especially if you have children or teenagers like myself who cannot keep my fridge stocked with crap because, well, it's like every few days I'm at the grocery store because my fridge is empty. So let's get started. So this is going to be extremely interactive, just an FYI. Lots of questions, lots of answers from you guys. I have some homework projects that we're going to do together. One in particular, which I'm sure you know what it's going to be. Don't be shy about asking anything. No question is a dumb question. You're here to learn and I'm here to teach. So if you've got questions about food safety as well, or anything with the food industry, by all means, I will answer those as well. Okay, so what you're gonna need. You're gonna need a pen or a pencil. Who struggles with ideas? Like, isn't that the worst? Try to come up with ideas and not have the same thing over and over and over again, because my kids keep saying to me, Mom, we keep having the same thing over again. So I'm gonna shoot you out some ideas. We're gonna figure out how to help you out those ideas as well. Okay, so there are different ways to meal plan. There's that sheet, obviously, that I gave you, the old school type stuff. There are apps out there you can use if you want to, or if you want to get more creative, I have put chalkboard in my kitchen on my pantry door. I stuck it on my pantry door, so every time kids walk by and they're like, "What's for dinner?" Go look at the board, right? So it's there, and I don't have to repeat myself because sometimes I just don't remember what the hell I wrote down anyway. So a chalkboard or like a whiteboard would work well too if you're a visual person like I am. The piece of paper we stuck it on the fridge too, but it like these little boxes sometimes, and it's like too hard to see. Like we did a calendar for the whole month, and that's just not good. So I hope you can help me with making something basic into something more interesting. Yeah, great. Use a piece of paper, yes, whiteboard. Okay, perfect. So that's just some ideas. Use a whiteboard or chalkboard, put it somewhere in your kitchen so it's visualized, and make it like, if you're creative, make it look nice and pretty. I've got a girlfriend who makes it all with like flowers and stuff, and makes it all pretty. I just put everything on there and yeah. And I also put chores on there. That's another idea. Talk about that as well, getting your kids involved in sitting them down and saying, if you don't help me, you're not going to eat anything. That's kind of a parenting thing for me too, because the kids have to help me. Because my kids are like, well, I don't like that. Too bad. You have to help me. If you're not going to eat it, then let's try to get them involved with ideas and stuff, right, Jackie? That might help out with that too as well. Okay.
And I did, like a long time ago, set the expectation, like they have to put the food into the Instacart order. Like, so if you don't put it in the Instacart order, it doesn't come to the house. And so like I've been trying to get them to buy into it all. But then like it gets made and then like they've eaten when they get home from school, and then when it's dinner time, they're not hungry. And then they're like, but if it's good, then they are hungry. And if it's like, I don't want to try it, like I don't, like it's like a no-win, it feels like.
Are they teenagers? Like we're talking like 13 to 17?
12 and 14.
12 and 14. Okay, I have an idea for you. Get them to help make dinner. Get them involved in the kitchen. I have two boys that are in my baking. So I do baking classes as well with Edmonton Public Library. And I have two boys who are 12 and 14. And they started with me in October, and they were shy and they didn't know how to bake and they didn't know how to do it. And now, months later, they are on their own doing stuff. So maybe getting them involved in cooking, like baking or whatever, just to get them excited about being in the kitchen and let them create stuff on their own might be an idea too. I let my kids create whatever they want to. I have a 16-year-old and an almost 18-year-old. Yes, I'm that old to have an adult child. Oh my God. But yes, I get them involved and they cook and they just do whatever they need to. And sometimes it turns out and sometimes it tastes like, ooh. But that's okay. At least they're creative and they're in the kitchen, right? And they're doing their thing. So that maybe get them excited that way. We'll use a piece of paper, obviously, as our guide because we don't have any of the other stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down for you on meal planning. So one, the first thing you have to do is obviously figure out what you want to make during the week. So for every day, you're going to put something down. If you're lacking for ideas, we're going to put some ideas out today. We're going to work together as a group to do that. But the one thing place you can go is Pinterest. Everyone heard of Pinterest before? Pinterest is a really good place to go for recipe ideas, all sorts of stuff. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. We're going to work on dinner because dinner is always the toughest. You've gone to work or you don't have ideas, and we have to work on that. So Pinterest is a really good place. YouTube, yeah, I saw that come up. YouTube. Lunch, please, Shelly. Okay, good. Single person meals. Ooh, okay, that's a good. Okay, so first thing you need to do is figure that out. So you know what? Talk to family and friends. Start a conversation with them. What are you having for dinner? So, and then if you like, oh yeah, I like that, write it down. Make a list of all the things that they have. I always do it in our chat group that we have as our family group. We call each other a village. We are 12 families, I think we are. And I will ask about dinner, and all of them will ding, 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 ding. And it's like, oh, okay, this is a great idea. Okay, let's do this. So reach out to friends and family. Ask them what they're having for dinner. I'll give you some ideas as well. That might help as well. Yeah, YouTube. Anybody else have any place else that they go for recipes? Books. Yeah, there's obviously recipe books. I literally read recipe books in bed. Does anybody else do that? Read recipe books in bed? No, I'm the only dork in the group. Yeah, okay, that's great. Instagram has recipes. Yeah. I'm part in Glow. She gives us really Inner Glow. Never heard of them. I'll have to check them out. Okay, great ideas. Okay, so the second thing is when you get the recipe, what I want you to do is break the recipe down to figure out what you need to buy. So you're going to have your sheet like this. Hang on, I'm going to grab the sheet. And you're going to put all the stuff in here. And then now you're going to make a recipe list, like a list for ingredients. So if there's ingredients on the stuff that you're breaking down for each recipe, so if the recipe is, I don't know, let's say grilled cheese sandwiches and tomato soup. Well, you're going to go look at your cupboard. I don't have bread and I don't have cheese, but I have tomato soup. So I'm going to put bread and cheese on there. That makes sense? So for each recipe, anything that you're missing, you're going to put this on the list of for shopping list. Just look through your pantry, make sure you've got things. If you need extra, obviously put it down. Who has a large family? Anybody have a large family? Like I'm talking about 5 and more people in their family. Anybody? Okay, doesn't look like it. Okay, so if you did have a large family, what I would say is double the recipe. And so I can help with figuring how to double a recipe. Or if you want leftovers for lunch the next day, doubling the recipe will help with that. If you have people that go to work and they need lunch, instead of buying a frozen lunch, like those crappy microwave lunches, just have leftovers, put in a container, they can take it for lunch next day. That's another idea as well. So nobody has a large family, but does everybody like leftovers? Who likes leftovers?
I do that. It's just my husband and I. And lots of recipes are for 4 people. So I just make the 4 people version, and then we both get lunch the next day. And it's
perfect.
Like way easier.
Yeah, I have 6 people. I'm having problems with cutting down. I'm used to cooking for 5. Okay, Gwen, you wanted the single, correct? They're all right, maybe. Okay, so cutting it down might be a little tricky, but here's an idea. If the recipe calls, like Meg said, like usually for 4 people, you can make it, eat what you need, have your lunch, and then have frozen leftovers. That way you can just quickly, if you're not in the mood to eat whatever is on your list of meal planning, stick it in the microwave and off you go, you're good to go. Okay, next thing is who's on a budget? We're in COVID, everybody's on a budget. I have a solution for your budgets, my friends. I want you to write it, I want you to write this down. Everyone write it down. It's called recipal.com, and I'm going to actually type it in there for you. Okay, this is the website I want you guys to use. It's going to take a little time. Don't get frustrated. You're going to be okay. Anyways, Recipal is basically you put a recipe in it, and it will spit out how much it's going to cost for that recipe. So you get your ingredients. So let's say I'm going to do a baking one because I'm a baker. So let's go down the baking thing. So I'm going to bake chocolate chip cookies. So I have flour, baking powder, chocolate chips, butter, and an egg. So I'm going to put all of those in and how much I got. So like if I buy a 10-kilogram bag of flour and it costs me $13.99, I'm going to put that in there. I apologize if you hear puppies barking in the background. I do have 2 small puppies running around my house, so I apologize. So you can put all of your recipes in there and it'll spit out, 1, it'll spit out how much it's going to cost you to make that recipe. And 2, it's going to spit out your calorie intake. How much calories? Jackie's like, woohoo! How many calories per recipe is this going to be? So just a fair warning, they might have it for free, like 3 recipes for free. They change their stuff, but you might need a subscription. But if you get a 1-month subscription, I think it's like $20, I think. Don't quote me because it keeps changing. But for $20, you can put as many recipes in there as you want. After the 1 month is gone, then you take the 1 month, your recipes will still be sitting in there and you can change them out and you can print them and you can, all of this stuff. So you'll have your calories, you'll have all of the stuff in there. It'll just work. So I use this for my clients that I'm teaching how to figure out recipes and how to sell their stuff. So it's a really good tool for budgeting for your own house. Anybody have any questions about that? If you're on a really tight budget, the other thing you can do is just try to calculate how much that it's going to cost by just writing everything down on a piece of paper, but it's going to take you way longer. And this recipe will just spit it in and you're good to go. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm going to have a little exercise for you. We're going to do this together. Are you ready? We're going to make a weekly plan together. So what I want you to do is we're going to start on Monday, right? The top one is Monday. And I want you to go through there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and write down ideas of stuff that you want to make for next week. And if you can share it in the chat box or, open your mic and say, hey, this is what we're going to make. We can give each other ideas on stuff we make. So if there is any, I'm Greek, so I make pasticcio, which is it's a meat lasagna, but it's got a bechamel sauce on the top. I make that all the time and the kids love it. We make our own chicken burgers. So I smash the chicken breast down, we smash it down, we season it, we stick it on the barbecue, off we go, chicken burgers, there you go. Instead of having to buy the pre-made stuff, we make it our own. So I would like to open up the floor and let's make the week together and get some ideas. So anybody have any ideas of what they're going to make next week? Any things they want to share? Don't leave me hanging now. Come on. Don't be shy.
Oh, here we go. We got Monday roast Costco chicken, Tuesday chicken quesadilla, Wednesday spaghetti and sauce. Kate has taco salad.
So Sue, do you make your own spaghetti sauce? Sweet and spicy chicken. Oh my God, that sounds so good. Taco salad sometimes. Okay. Okay. Come on, don't leave me hanging. There's lots out there, you guys.
I love fajitas. They're so easy.
Mm-hmm. More now that I am trying to be healthy. Okay? Oh, spaghetti bolognese. That sounds good. Chili. Chicken lettuce wraps. Yum. I could use a recipe for sweet and spicy chicken. Oh, there you go. Food processor and tomatoes. Yummy.
We have a lot of food intolerances in our house. So I make almost everything from scratch and it's very time consuming and
can be.
Can't have any Mexican or anything like that. Like we have tacos, but I have to make all of the taco seasoning from scratch and things like that. So I'm always having a hard time just finding new ideas.
And I can't, you know what? And I'll be honest with you, 100% honest with all of you guys. I can't eat any fruits or vegetables. It's been 25 years and I can't. There's no way. Like every time I eat it, I have IBS and it's a trigger and I'm in the bathroom. And lactose, same thing. So I eat mostly like carbs. and bland stuff, because I can't do anything like that either. Laura, she's autoimmune. So do you have like a autoimmune diet book?
Yeah.
Like, did your dietitian gave it to you? Okay.
Yeah, no, I do have that. It's just that all of the meal plan stuff and things that, you know, most people throw out there, like lasagna, we can't ever have, you know, I can have lasagna, but then I have to make the sauce from beets and carrots, and it's like, it's just very time consuming. So so she can eat things like rice, and she doesn't like chicken, but she likes beef and pork, and just, it's hard.
Yeah, I get it.
So I thought that, you know, that's why I kind of came on here. But yes, I do actually, I make her own barbecue sauce, and I do freeze it in small containers and make like a cherry one, but it does make it hard. I will share though that we make a noodle bake. Anyone who ever uses those rotisserie chickens when you pick it up, it's kind of like a chicken pot pie without the crust, and you just throw in egg noodles and bake it with panko, and it's really good. But you know, so my kids can have that, but I can't have that because there's dairy in it. So but yeah, so I was just, you know, if anybody has any thoughts on things that don't have a lot of vegetables in it, like she can have some vegetables but not many of them. So
have you been looking online at all?
yeah, it's much better now, like you know, things like that, but I find that meal planning is exhausting, like just because I literally make every single thing from scratch almost.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just sorry, my brain is like, I'm don't mean to sound rude, I'm like, because I'm just saying okay. It's because my brain is literally working, and I'm trying to think of ways to help you solve your issues, because in the food industry, I have some friends in the food industry that might be able to help with recipes, and to help you with your diet restrictions. So what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to email me. Okay, let's go back to the thing. Sorry, I'm going to go back to the chat to see what you guys are saying. Okay, minestrone soup. Do you make your minestrone soup from scratch, Lisa? Stir fried, that's what I had, Ting. I had stir fried tonight for dinner. It takes a lot of time, but it's healthier, and we have, yeah, okay. Maybe everyone in the family can eat some stir fried vegetable greens.
One of my tricks for stir fry that I've started doing is actually roasting all the vegetables so that they don't get mushy.
Yeah.
So I'll cook the rice and I'll cook the protein, but then I'll just like roast zucchini and carrot or pepper or whatever it is I'm making, and then they actually come out really nice and crunchy. If people, I was hearing people saying they have picky eaters, so if somebody has like a texture thing, that might be a way to get like keep your veg.
You asked if we make our minestrone soup from scratch.
Yeah.
And we do, because we won't eat packaged soups anymore. We're just so used to making soup. It's fairly quick, fairly simple, and we'll have them, you know, for lunch and for dinner for a couple of days.
Absolutely. I love making soup from scratch. The kids seem to like the canned stuff, but I like the scratch by scratch stuff because it's easier, and also you can freeze it, and then if you're in a rush, you just stick it in the microwave and off you go, right? How do you roast vegetables? Well, I can tell you that. You take a pan, you put your vegetables on there, you put olive oil. Am I right, Meg? I put olive oil, salt and pepper, and I stick it in the oven, and I roast it, and that's good to go. It's easy peasy. Yeah, 425, yeah. Okay, so we got some ideas. So can anybody share does anybody want to share their menu? Ground beef, onion, and I use it in a chili. Oh, chili's my favorite. Although I can't have the beans either, or the vegetables. I just pick out the meat because I can have meat. Anybody want to share their menu with us at all? Anybody? Is there anybody out there? Nobody?
I can start.
Okay, go.
So I was going to do Monday personal meatloaves with beans and mashed sweet potatoes. because we like that. And my trick with that is I do the meatloaves, they're almost like hamburgers. I do them kind of hockey puck size instead of doing a full loaf and then they cook for a weeknight, as opposed to like feeling like you have to cook a whole loaf pan of ground beef.
Right.
And then because I'll have ground beef, I was going to do burgers and salad on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, chicken fajitas. Thursday, I make a kind of like a bibimbap style stir fry. So again, I kind of do what I was just saying, where I roast the veggies and cook the rice, and then I just do the sauce on the meat and then toss it all together. And then I hadn't got to Friday. That's as far as I got because I was helping cook.
That's okay. Anybody else want to share some of the recipes that they might have?
Recipes or menus?
Oh, sorry, pardon me. Either or, really. Menus, recipes. If you want to share a recipe, you got some ideas. Menu items is good too. Laura, hamburgers with chopped salad. Tuesday, French onion soup. Oh my gosh, I haven't had French onion soup in forever. Wednesday, mini. Okay, yeah. And asparagus. Oh, yummy. Okay, so remind me again. Sorry, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the conversation when we started, that people needed help with. One person said how to cook just for a single person, correct? Who was that? I don't remember who that was. And then having.
That was, sorry, this is Lisa. That was my daughter who's with me here.
Okay, so to cook for one person. So if you go into Pinterest, you can actually ask that in Pinterest for a one person meal. You can go and take a look to see it. And cutting it down, so if you're going to cut down the recipe, remember the recipe is like, just think of it as a quarter and put it in 4 quarters, or sorry, think of it as $1, put it in 4 quarters, and you're going to chop it up in 4. So it's basically doing some math, and it might be a little difficult to do that, but it'll be worth it in the end, just to cook for one person. And to get creative, there's all sorts of things you can go in there as well, ask for just a single person meal, and get some ideas that way. Pinterest has that ability to do that as well. Also YouTube's fantastic for the single person stuff too as well.
Or don't cook for a single person, instead cook a regular meal and then freeze it in individual things and then pull it out so that you're not having to cook all the time.
And just remember, if you're doing that too, thank you, Laura. If you're doing that too, make sure you rotate and put a date on those packages. Because sometimes you end up putting stuff in the freezer and you're like, when has this been? How long has this been? That's the food safety coming out. Make sure to rotate and put dates in there so you know when your stuff is going in, because freezer burn, if your stuff is freezer burn, please throw it out. Do not use it. It means that there's like air that's gotten to it, and microorganisms can get in there and start to grow and then make you sick. So you don't want that either.
Have you ever used the app called Paprika 3?
No, never heard of it. What, explain?
It is an app where you can save recipes to it. It downloads the recipe for you from a website. And then when you go into it, in the ingredients, it has the ingredients on, and then you can also check directions, but it has scale and convert.
Oh, perfect.
So you can go in and convert it to 4 servings, 6 servings, 2 servings, 1 serving.
What was it called again, Lisa?
It's called Paprika, like the spice.
Yeah.
Paprika 3.
Like 3 as a number 3 or 3 as in THRE?
Just a second, let me just get it. Paprika is 3 is in the number 3. And then you get 50 recipes for free. And then if you want, you can purchase a full version. I think it was like $6, maybe. And then that gives you unlimited recipes. So I use that a ton. And then in Paprika 3, if I find something that I like, I save it to Paprika 3 and I have a category, try this. So sometimes I just go into that category, try this, and it's all the recipes I've saved.
Wow, thank you for the tip. I had no idea. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Kate, often recipes online will let you change the serving set. That's true. Freeze leftovers, yeah. Stir fry with rice, and Saturday's salad and sweet potato fries. Oh my gosh, yummy. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question now. What's your favorite meal to make? What's your all-time favorite meal? Like your comfort one that if you're sick or whatever is going on in your life, what is your favorite meal to make? I'll go first because all y'all are shy tonight. My favorite meal is pasta. I can have pasta sauce, like the canned stuff, but I have to be really careful. Oatmeal. Oh, oatmeal. Soup.
Eggs and toast. I'm with you, Lisa.
Eggs and toast.
I do what, I don't know what everybody calls it different things. I do like the toad in a hole or egg in a nest, whatever it is, when you fry the bread with butter on one side, put the egg in the middle.
Love that. I've made that for all of my grandchildren. They think it's Nana's special recipe, so don't
Yeah,
worry.
it's a great comfort food.
Okay, what is it, sorry? Is that you cut like the bread out?
You
and
cut
then
like a circle in the middle of your bread and you butter it, and then you crack an egg in the middle and you fry it. And so it's like half fried egg, half grilled cheese, but no cheese. So it's just like a fried egg in the middle of your toast.
Oh yeah, and my grandchildren think it's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. Smoked salmon and bagels.
Ooh.
Liver and onions sauce with proteins.
Oh.
Maria. I think, Maria, you're the only one I know that and for a while that's eaten liver. Eggs Benedict's, crepe, and quiche. Oh, crepes are my favorite too. A nice big salad. I miss having salad. I used to be able to eat vegetables and fruit, and now I can't. Okay, so if you are any bakers in the group, anybody? Any bakers?
Yep. Well, a couple.
Any bakers?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Okay, so what's your favorite thing to bake? And do you bake dessert stuff or do you bake like bread stuff? And another question for you is how many of you have dessert after dinner? Sourdough. Yes, Laura, fantastic. Oh, soup, cheese, and broccoli, sourdough, okay. Only because you teach me, Maria. It's true. Sorry, Maria.
Chocolate cupcakes.
Oh, chocolate cupcakes.
Oh, challah, that's good.
Challah, what is that?
It's like correct me if I'm wrong, but it's sort of like a Jewish bread with like a kind of crusty, egg washy kind of outside. Sort of close to, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Baked snacks like cookies, lemon curd. We don't often have dessert. Okay. Yeah. Love to bake bread related, and cookies. Sometimes dessert. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. Does anybody else want to share what they have on their menu? Pies, cookies, bread. What kind of pies do you make, SB? Okay. Yeah. Anybody else want to share their menu? Or anybody else have any questions about meal planning? I'm leaving the floor open because I basically all kinds. Okay. What's your favorite pie to make? The other question. I'm
pear
pie. Never had it. I'm good at teaching pie, but I'm horrible at making it. I have to say, there's a story to go on. Meg knows a story about the pie. I'll tell you the pie story. So I have a husband, 21 years, been together 26 years. Our first year of marriage, I decided to make apple pie, his absolutely favorite apple pie. He had one bite and said, it's not as good as my mother's. And I decided never again to make apple pie. I tried like years later to make apple pie, and he still said, it doesn't taste as good as my mother's. And I told him to make sure that his mother starts filling up her freezer, because when she dies, there ain't going to be any apple pie. So, all right. Any other questions? Anything?
One thing I did bury in the chat a little bit ago was one of the things that I love on the library's website is called A to Z World Foods. And it's all foods from all over the world, and you can search it by country. So you can say, I want to see what is, you know, a national dish in Brazil, or you can search it by ingredient. So if you look in your pantry and you're like, I have a whole ton of zucchini or asparagus and I do not know what else to do with this thing because I have done every recipe I know, you can go and search by the ingredient and then find maybe like a cool new way to prepare it from a different culture. So I definitely recommend that too, just as I know some people were saying, finding ideas. So it's kind of fun to like travel through food as a thing.
Perfect. Over the summer, we do country foods menu. My kids like it.
Yeah, that's
Country.
a fun thing to do. Like pick a country and make a couple different things from it.
Absolutely. Any campers out there? Anybody like camping? Who's going camping?
Yep.
I am. I leave in a week. I can't wait. So
Yes,
camping,
it's wonderful.
yes, camping is the best. I would, if I could, I would live in my trailer, but I can't. What kind of camping menu are you looking for, Maria? Like what would be on the top? I mean, we do everything from steaks. We do, I can't, my brain, we haven't gone camping in a year, so I have to remember all these things that we do, all these menus and stuff, but we get creative. We're using the fire pit for sure. And I just bought my husband one of those Camp Chef camp stoves, so I'm so excited to use that thing. It's fantastic. I like foil dinners. Yeah, foil dinners are good. Yeah, and they, you know, they have like they had a s'mores foil s'mores thing in one of those oh my gosh, ice cream cone type things.
Yep.
You know, you put the foil around and you put it on the fire. It's good. I made pierogies. We have them for breakfast.
We usually prep everything ahead so that when we're camping, it's really easy to do our meals.
Yeah,
But we do everything from like little skewers to stir fries to whatever we can cook on that fire.
yeah, absolutely, 100%. The key for camping is prepping. Like we make the pancake mix. I put it in a Ziploc bag, like because we don't like the box pancake. We actually make our pancakes from scratch. So I make the pancake mix in a plastic Ziploc bag and I bring it with me and we just put all the ingredients in and shake it and then make pancakes that way. So prepping is really important. Block brown is great for camping snacks. Yes, I heard that too. Yep. So before we go, I know we're about 15 minutes before we go. Anybody have any questions about anything else? Lactose problems. Yes, lactose problems in my family too. So there's lactose-free milk that you can use. There's lactose-free butter we can use. There's lactose-free cream cheese now. There's lactose-free cheese. So I don't know if you can use that, or Lactaid. That was the other one. People use that as well. We tend to stay away from, like if we're making macaroni and cheese, let's say, I know that's lactose, but we can eat cheese, but we can't have milk or like sour cream or yogurt. But if we're making macaroni and cheese, we just take the milk out and we just put like margarine in there. We don't use butter very often because that's just too much dairy for us too as well. Calculating the recipe, you can use Recipal to calculate your recipe too, and that was the other one, that Paprika 3, the one that Lisa had said, might be a good thing to use as well.
And for the figure out your dinner, I think people shared a lot of great ideas. We had Pinterest, we had YouTube, we had the A to Z World Food. We had just lots of different places to go for ideas. Also, Stephanie was saying just texting friends and asking what everybody's having for dinner can give you some good places to start.
Yeah. And, anybody else have any questions at all? Concerns? Anything? I am going to plug just one little things before I let you go. I do have a podcast, food safety tips for like your home kitchen. It's not very long. Don't worry. It's not like an hour talking. It's 5 minutes. It's called Get Forked. You can view it on Apple Podcast or what else? Spotify, Google Podcast, all that sort of stuff. And I just uploaded my 6th one. I'm working on my 7th and my 8th one. And yeah, so the little tidbits about 5-second rule, there's about your kitchen counters, the cross-contamination, all that sort of stuff. So if you're interested in listening to that, they're like 4 to 5 minutes long. I try to make them as funny as I can because it's kind of a boring topic. Yeah, it's called Get Forked. Thank you all for joining me today. It's been a pleasure to meet you all.